and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Emmanuel Kadosh here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
An Israeli family went on a shocking adventure this weekend after they ended up in a Palestinian village after making a wrong turn on a weekend road trip. The family was driving from Tiberias in northeastern Israel to Beersheba in the south on Highway 90, which runs along the Jordan River in the West Bank. And somehow they ended up miles from the main road in the Palestinian town of Tubas. Palestinian security officials luckily stopped them there and handed them over to the IDF. Israeli citizens are forbidden from entering Palestinian-controlled parts of the West Bank because of how dangerous it can be. In 2000, two IDF reservists accidentally entered the Palestinian city of Ramallah, where they ended up being brutally killed by a Palestinian mob. Tensions are running high between Israel and the Netherlands following the Israeli government's decision to confiscate Dutch-funded solar panels, all because they were built without permits in Israeli-controlled parts of the West Bank. Last week, Israel removed the devices from the village of Jubet ad-Hayib, and they haven't yet returned the property to the Dutch government, despite several requests. The Dutch foreign minister is now declaring that his government will keep funding, quote, humanitarian projects in the occupied territories, even if Israel doesn't grant permits. But Dutch politicians on the right side of the spectrum see this as a waste of money. Dutch parliament member Raymond de Roon says that giving money to a project that might not get a permit is a, quote, stupid and unwise way of dealing with taxpayers' money. Poland is expected to sign a major new defense deal with the United States later this year for 8 Patriot missile defense systems, and the deal will apparently include interceptor missiles from Israel's David Sling system. Polish Defense Minister Macerowicz announced the deal last Thursday. The Israeli company Rafael Defense Systems, which manufactures the missiles, is expected to make nearly $1 million on the deal, since Poland demanded that the Israeli Skyscepters are part of the package. It makes sense too, since the Skyscepters is a tenth of the cost of its American counterpart and supposedly performs a lot better. These major defense developments all ride on the heels of some major Israeli deals with India. India is already on their way to purchasing around 8,000 missiles and 300 launchers from Israel following the Indian Prime Minister's visit to the country. It looks like Israel's Druze communities in the Golan Heights are set to hold democratic elections for the first time since 1967. Today, there are just over 100,000 Druze Arabs living in Israel who are officially recognized by the state as their own separate religious entity. That means they have their own courts, which are responsible for dealing with matters like marriage, divorce, and adoption. And now, the 23,000 Druze living in 4 villages in the Golan Heights will be holding local democratic elections this coming October. Most of these Druze members are Israeli citizens, but some of them are only permanent residents because they identify as Syrian nationals. And because of that, many will not be able to run in the elections since only Israeli citizens can become mayors and city councilmen. Yet many are still celebrating the upcoming elections because it means that the Israeli government will be less involved and that those voted in power will only have to be accountable to the voters. Israeli leadership have been accused of failing to invest in Druze towns in the Golan Heights, largely because of the possibility that some of the residents may end up returning to Syria under a peace deal. Now that seems to be changing with the appointment of younger mayors who are demanding more assistance in their towns, and new elections will hopefully have a positive impact. Israel's top-ranked men's single tennis player Dudi Sela has ended his run at Wimbledon after suffering an injury during his match with Bulgarian Grigor Dimitrov. The 32-year-old tennis star was down 6-1 to 6-1 when he was forced to stop playing in his third-round match against the Bulgarian because of a leg injury. During the second set, Sela received treatment on his inner thigh and continued on the second match before announcing that he had to stop. Sela advanced to the last 32 players in the tournament after his shocking win against American tennis star John Isner. Many claim Sela won due to his height difference with Isner, given that the Israeli is 5'7" and Isner is a whopping 6'8". At the end of the day, we wish Sela a speedy recovery and praise him for his hard work and dedication.
That's all for now. I'm Emmanuel Kadosh, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.